Yes, hello everyone. I'm Ozan Kurt Bey. Welcome to my astrology channel. My must-have is the midweek X-relationships video, because when people aren't happy in their current relationships, their subconscious immediately asks, who was the last person I was happy with? Because human evolution is based on relationships. That's why men and women were created. Exactly. They go back to the last moment they were happy. Who was the last person I was happy with? Then they start checking to see what that person is up to. Mayday, Mayday. Now we're going to review this. Let's see what the ex-lovers of the zodiac signs are after, what they're doing. If you're ready, I'm ready too. Now let's review it all together. To all my dear friends whose sun sign and rising sign are Aries, in the world of astrology, let's see what your ex-lovers are up to at this very moment. Now that Saturn has also moved into Aries, it wants solid discipline in the area of self, and there's a restrictive factor there. It's about taking more control over emotions in the area of self. Exactly. Of course, this depends on what your rising sign is. Aries rising sign means this is coming directly from house number 7, which is house number 1, be serious. It wants you to be serious, realistic, and disciplined. You want to experience my emotions. Live even that seriously. Exactly. Friends with Aries rising. Let's see what your ex-lovers are up to. Card number 1, card number 2, and card number 3. The ex-lovers of friends with Aries rising are saying this. Card number 1, your ex-lover is saying, right now, I want to listen to myself. I want to listen to myself. They've withdrawn into their inner world, reviewing the past. What did I do? What didn't I do? What about the other person? How was my relationship going? What was missing? What was complete? The hanged man is called that because he just hangs there like a log. Right now, they don't want to share their loneliness with anyone. Card number 2 says, oh, the concrete balances in my life have been turned upside down. Value-based balances have been turned upside down. I want to find out the reason for this. For that, I first need to retreat into my inner world. In fact, for quite some time now, they have been facing things alone and withdrawn into their inner world. At the same time, they are trying to restore the value-based balances in their life. So what does card number 3 say? They've made some moves. They've made some emotional moves in their life. In fact, they're rearranging some things in their mind. Why? Look, here I did the right thing. Here I did the wrong thing. I value him. My value balance has been thrown into chaos. Here too, I did the right thing, but maybe I made a mistake here. There are already some secretive things I found out after my relationship. These things disappointed me. That's why I'm alone right now anyway. So what they're trying to say is that in the relationships I have in the future, I need to pay attention to these things so that my value balance doesn't get turned upside down, so that I don't lose my balance. Dear friends whose sun sign and ascendant sign are Aries, I will take steps accordingly in the future regarding their ex-loves. Saturn has left the sign of Aries. It has moved out of a chaotic, warlike energy and out of spontaneous reactions. Because the reactions of Aries rising are spontaneous. That's why this spontaneity has already turned their sense of value and emotional balance upside down. Now, this is the ex-lover of Aries rising. It's entirely based on this. No one knows what will happen in the coming period. Ladies and gentlemen, exactly. Now let's see what happens for friends whose sun sign and rising sign are Taurus. Fixed security-seeking earth energy and comfort energy. Because if your rising sign is Taurus, your way of acting and your field of action are fixed, reliable, and oriented towards enjoyment. At the same time, it is also oriented towards self-defense. Now, your ex-lover is faced with someone like this. This is how you are. Now, let's see what effect this has had on your ex-lover. What is he or she doing right now? Was he or she able to shake off that influence? The ex-lover of Aries and Taurus number 1, ex-lover number 2, and ex-lover number 3. So what is this person saying? What exactly are the gentlemen or ladies saying, I wonder? I am feeling quite uneasy and rather unsettled about what I have heard from others regarding the things that I myself have experienced. Exactly, I am quite uneasy. This made me uneasy. Who knows what else I will hear? In a state of unrest, mind is all confused, a tangled mess. Exactly. And that's why a step back was taken anyway. Mayday, mayday. Let this be announced to those concerned. That's why a step back was taken. Otherwise, a step back wouldn't have been taken at all, completely because of external factors. Who cares about this? A person with Taurus rising cares. It's a habit they picked up from you. What are the people around saying? Why should I act according to that? Why am I acting according to that, brother? None of your business, none of your business. It's card number 2, but we have a small problem. It says a lot of obstacles were put in our way. Exactly. A lot of obstacles were put in our way. But for the person with Taurus rising, they're enjoying it now. You know, Taurus rising enjoys things. Taurus is pleasure-oriented, focused on representation. So Taurus acts with the intention of enjoying this, but also gives that to the other person, right? And who rules Taurus, bro? The planet Venus. It makes the person in front of them spiritually addicted to them, and somehow that person needs to break free from that addiction. They're experiencing this restlessness precisely because they can't break free. Mayday, 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 mayday. Exactly, they're experiencing this restlessness because they can't break free. They still say, my soul is still burning with fire. Flames are still engulfing my soul. The situation is not at all what you think. But on top of that, there are also the things I've heard. Yeah. What the hell am I going to do now? What the hell am I going to do now? Forget, I can't get over them either. Yeah. But I also don't want to embarrass myself anymore in front of everyone. Because there are so many things I've heard. Now, I have my own pride, I do, but so does the other person. I can't give up on them either. If their rising sign is Taurus, they had an incredible physical allure. Because Venus is no joke. Exactly. That makes them addicted too. So, what does card number 3 say? Card number 3 says, there are so many people around me. There are a lot of people around me, but none of them are like that person. None of them are like him. So I want to do something. But the things I hear from them about my ex aren't exactly good things. This also disturbs my peace. I'm about to take a step, but I can't break away from there either. ZA card. I can't break away from there, nor can I appreciate the beauties in front of me, whether they're women or men, it doesn't matter. I can't even look at the beauties in front of me. They're practically swarming around me, all saying, pick me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Yeah. Now try explaining that to my soul. Go ahead, try to explain it to my soul. No matter which way I try to turn, I end up backing up. That's why. Now with Taurus rising, it automatically creates a Taurus-Scorpio axis. There's chaos there too. Here you go, chaos, welcome chaos. Mayday, mayday, go ahead. Where's Venus? It's in Aries too. Chaotic. Exactly, chaotic. Now let's move on. Let's move on now. Let's take a look at Gemini. What are your ex-lovers after? Gemini rising. There is a matter of instability. There is an excessive flexibility. Yeah, exactly. The air element is at play. Actually, it's a relaxed sign, but its shadow side is the rapid transitions from one topic to another. And here, the other person perceives this as instability. So, is this serious? That's how it's perceived. It's not clear what the other person is about. I don't know about this. I'm just interpreting based on the cards. In this situation, you're perceived as not being serious. This isn't serious. What can we even do with this? Exactly, can you even have a relationship with this? Could it be that they've soured because of this? Let's see now. What are the pneumonias up to? What are they after? The pneumonias. So, the situation isn't as you think. You're not aware. Exactly, you get it? For my friends who are Gemini or have Gemini rising, X-Love 1, X-Love 2, and X-Love 3, what is your X-Love saying? Card number 1 says, aha, what happened? I need to pull myself together, friends. The situation isn't as you think. Well, my strength has dropped to 0. I need to gather myself again. Otherwise, things won't work out. Because Gemini rising is an Aries sign. Well, we'll handle that. We'll do it. I literally exhausted my energy just trying to keep up with them. My strength is gone from trying to keep up. Because I'm not an air element. But the person in front of me is an air element. I don't know about that. It might be the case right now. But if their rising sign is an air element, then a bit of flair, we'll handle it. I'm out of energy. I couldn't keep up. That's why I need to gather my strength again. Card number 2. So that's why I'm all tense right now. It's like a tornado swept through my life. But that's what happens when your rising sign is Gemini. That's why I keep saying, in the upcoming period, Uranus will move into Gemini. They ask, what will happen? A storm will begin, because Gemini is like a storm. It's already created a storm in the person's life. They're all tense right now. There are people around them who give them strength so they can regain their energy, but they're tense despite that. In other words, they're passing that tension on to them as well. My friend says, you know that one, my dear. You focus on getting stronger, on pulling yourself together. Okay, I'll pull myself together, I will, but my values are gone. My values are gone. It's highly likely. Oh, I can't deal with this stingy person. What happened? Well, I'm giving strength. Well, the person is all over the place. Your ex-love is in this mood right now. Dear Gemini rising. And the last card. What does it say? There's the question. The last card says, try your hardest to surpass yourself. Locked onto a goal, focused on the target, focused on their values. I'm going to recreate all this strength from scratch, man. I'm going to recreate this strength from scratch, and I need to continue my life from where I left off. But first, I need to regain my strength. And during this process, no matter who comes into their life, they'll encounter the same tribal infections, the same dramas, because they're in the negative. Since they're in the negative, they first need to get back to the positive. And for that, they need to overcome themselves. Right now, no matter who comes into my life, the chances are high that it will end in disappointment. Unless they're a patient person. Now, you're a Gemini rising too. You also require patience. To be in your life, patience is also necessary. Why do they keep jumping from one thing to another, from this to that, from here to there, over and over again? If they could just stay steady in one place, on one subject, or with one idea and make progress, there wouldn't be any problems. Everything would go smoothly. Here is the wreckage in front of me. I always say, Gemini rising is the epitome of instability. But this is the mark you leave behind. This is the impression you leave. Well, they're just now starting to pull themselves together. Mayday, mayday. Exactly, there's nothing you can do at that point. Take the inner strength and energy that you gained from the shade and use it for this purpose. Now, let's move on to see what the former romantic partners of friends who have Cancer, Sun, and Rising signs are up to. Cancer rising is good. Cancer rising is good. Prone to gaining weight, and because they have Cancer rising, they know very well how to appeal to the public. They know very well how to connect with people. That's why their power of persuasion is already very high. Because they pick up on that intuition, they feel everything. They already know how to adapt to the situation accordingly. Cancer rising, that's how they manage everything. They have an advantage both one-on-one and in front of crowds because Cancer rising feels the entire subconscious like a magnet. Now let's see what your ex is up to. We'll all find out together. Cancer rising's ex-love 1, ex-love 2, and ex-love 3, each with their own unique story and history. What is it that connects them, and what isn't it that keeps them apart? Hoo 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 hoo. The echoes continue hoo hoo until finally knockout. That's why I'm reacting this way. Knockout! 10 of Swords, completely devastated, mentally shattered. I've been betrayed. I'm done. So what did you do? You saw the sure thing slipping away. Without taking any risks, dear Cancer risings, you went for the sure thing again and again. You didn't go big. You didn't take any risks. Bang! I don't agree with that idea. Bang! 10 of Swords, knockout, completely devastated. Only God knows this. Rising youth may have done it deliberately. They do, because I waited. Those overwhelming emotions suddenly turn into a block of ice. Click, 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 click. With arrows of ice, ice arrows. Tink, 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 tink. No way. Well, at least you could have spared them from being completely destroyed. There's nothing to be done. There's nothing to be done. We have some common ground, some ideas. Either it was there or it wasn't. Or it just didn't turn out the way I wanted. This is the card of Scorpio. It doesn't have to be the way you want it anyway. There needs to be a sense of wholeness there. This is the Scorpio card, just so you know. Here, there hasn't been a mental integration, and there's been betrayal. The problem here stems from you. Dear young people, rising young people, there hasn't been a consensus. What happened to your empathy, your empathetic personality? Did you send it on vacation? My empathy has taken its annual leave. I even said, if possible, don't come back at all. Card number 2, O to be continued. There could be comebacks from this. Why? Because, look, on which card do we know this? We know this on this card. How can I turn the game around? Mayday, 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 mayday! That didn't work. A defeated wrestler never gets enough of the sun. I mean the sun? The sun. Apparently, a defeated wrestler never gets enough of the sun. I've learned your weaknesses. After you, I learned the secret tricks. So, now with this, I'm preparing a plan in my head. I'm going to change the positions of the pieces. And my revenge could be terrible. Whether this happens or not depends on the last card. My revenge could be terrible. In the name of the power of the shadows. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. I totally congratulate you, man. Exactly. So, what does the last card say? Because there's a solid blow there. A deep blow, an absolute blow. The last card is values in life. That's how you betray. You don't betray values in life like that. You don't betray. Let me show you how to betray. You have really disappointed me. Right here. I've heard all there is to hear, but it's all secretive news. I've heard all there is to hear. There are countless snakes around me. Those snakes ate the mint they were already eating. That's why I was devastated. That's why I was betrayed, and that's why my values got all messed up. A mental transformation is needed there. It's the card of Scorpio. A transformation is needed. This is also their transformation process. Busy undergoing a mental transformation. Buzz, 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 buzz. They're going to wake up. I'm ready for fashion. What happened? Nothing will ever be the same again. I'm ready for that mood. It's heading towards that mode right now. Mayday, mayday. Maybe that's why the young people did it anyway. Maybe that's why Cancer Risings did it anyway. Come on, you haven't become yet. Well, you need to be one. I've explained it like this, I've explained it like that, I've explained it this way, but it's not working. Well, you haven't left me any other option. You didn't leave me any other option. I had to do this. Yeah, and then you go and be there. Be there and come back. Of course, this depends on the connection between you. I can tell you what could happen. What will happen is up to your stubbornness, dear young people. So now, let's move on to the next part. Let's talk about the power of the shadows. Let's see what the ex-lovers of friends whose sun sign and rising sign are Leo, ladies and gentlemen, are up to. With spontaneous reactions, extremely spontaneous and harsh responses, and goal-oriented reactions, let's see what kind of state they leave the other person in. Because you are goal-oriented, extremely out of control. Suddenly boom, a Leo sun sign is quite normal. They give goal-oriented reactions if they don't get too angry. But if their rising sign is similar to their moon sign, they react accordingly. Quick fire, boom. Exactly. Let's see if your ex-love is still in one piece. Let's really find that out. Are they in one piece? Leo incomplete love is 1. Leo sign missing love 2. And Leo sign missing love 3. What are they? What are they not? Ooh, evaluating the possibilities in their life. The 3 of Cups that has been revealed says so. So what will I do? What will I make happen? I will review all the possibilities. These possibilities could also be personal opportunities. Or I like doing it this way. I enjoy doing it this way. I also like doing it this way. Either the person or the event. But I'm going to say, is this it? Is that it, bro? That's what I say about my ex-love. I'm going to say, is this it? Is that it, bro? There's nothing to be done there. Even if you tear yourself apart, even if you grab your sides and pull yourself apart, I'm still going to do this, bro. There's nothing to be done. Man, I'm going to do it. So, but to be able to do this, first I need to find some balance. So how am I going to find that balance? Right now, I'm looking for a way to reach that balance. The balance is gone. So, it's all messed up until death. The balance is gone. In this situation, dear ex, things that you like don't have to happen. I want to experience things that I enjoy. Okay? But first you need to act rationally. First, that rationality. You acted emotionally. First, you need to act rationally. Because we're talking about a Leo rising there. So, they act more logically rather than emotionally. Even in their relationships, they act logically. That one is logical in that way, the other is logical in that way. And that's a kind of logic too, and that's logical as well. Because we're talking about a lion. If it's a Leo rising, don't expect emotion there. There are logical actions. And they're already convincing you logically. And you say, but I need emotion. My emotional balance is gone and I need to regain it. No matter what, I want to experience these things. So what does the last card say? The last card says, but there's a little problem I can't see, son. That means it's become very goal-oriented. To where? My dear, they've put you through a goal-oriented crisis here. They've made you experience a goal-oriented crisis. You've become completely dark, and now you're experiencing the depression from that. And there are different possibilities around you, but right now, since the upper side is emotionally knocked out, you went in with emotions, the other person came in logically, or they turned your emotional world into a tangled mess, darkened it. First, this needs to come back into balance. You need to start acting logically, dear ex. Otherwise, just forget it. You can't go on living like this for ages. Mayday, mayday. There's nothing left to do there anymore. And if logic isn't in play, you need to trust your intuition. You should trust your intuition, not your libido. If you don't trust your intuition either, then there's really nothing you can do there right now. You can't live with these feelings for ages. So you can't say, this is it, that's it then, dear ex. Now let's move on to Virgos. My friends whose sun sign and rising sign are Virgo. A chain of logic, a sequence of logic, even organized logic. Exactly organized logic, but just as sensitive. Why? Because the Virgo constellation is the one with the highest intuition among all constellations. Because they act intuitively, are very sensitive and also extremely meticulous. So what happens? And because they also act cautiously, they're both intuitive and cautious. Both exist at the same time. It's odd, there's something about it. And they always look for tangible evidence. Let's see what your ex-lovers are up to. We will review that. Let's see what state they're in now. Virgo ex-lover 1, ex-lover 2, and ex-lover 3. What are they like? What are they not? Card number 1 says that right now they're preoccupied with their weariness. Why do people like this always come along? Why does it always end up being people like this? I'm tired of these people. Oh, your ex is saying this right now. Why do people like this always come along? I'm tired of these kinds of people. And there's also a bit of prejudice involved with your ex right now. Because they're acting with prejudice, they're thinking, am I going to go through the same thing again, man? If it's going to be like this, we've already become enemies. You are already a priest. Card number 2 says, there are multiple possibilities around me. So? They're all the same. They're all the same. None of them bring me any joy. None of them appeal to me. I'm tired, and this exhaustion can even cause health problems in the body. You get so tense, always thinking again, 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 when it comes to health issues. Right now, this is exactly the situation. So, what does card number 3 say? This prejudice has ruined the balance within you. I was going to do that, but it didn't work out. I was going to do that, but it didn't work out. I was going to do it with him, but it didn't work out. I was going to do it with him, but it didn't work out. I was going to do it with that person, but it didn't work out. Now I honestly don't feel like doing anything at all. I've had enough, seriously. I'm so fed up, it's just unbearable. Every time my balance gets completely thrown off. And everyone around you is like they all came out of Kazale. All the same model. Isn't there any other model? Are all the models the same? I'm tired of this. There's also a bit of prejudice involved. It's just weariness. But the models really are the same. Anyway, in a collective environment, since everyone acts by copying each other, they don't even notice. They're all the same. In a collective space, you see it from one person and get influenced. You see it from another and get influenced. You see it from yet another and get influenced. Before you know it, you're all the same. But inside, each of you thinks you're different from the others. Not. First, you need to step out and create your own world so that you can truly be different from them. Right now in society, especially in Turkish society, everyone is copying each other, but everyone thinks they're unique. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Everyone is copying each other. Everyone thinks deep down, I'm different. Take a look from the outside. How are you different? You look the same, all of you. And if you have prejudice in the mix, don't even bother looking for balance there. Mayday, mayday, don't look for balance there. First, your ex-love, first they need to find that balance. First, they need to retreat into solitude for a while. All right, friends, that's all from me for now. I'm Ozan Kurzbay. The next X video, to be continued, you'll see exactly. Thank you.